Hey, it's been a while since I've done a PS2 gameplay on the PlayStation 3. Last time we did one was, ironically, this game back in March. Hello, and welcome back to NASCAR Thunder 2004, ladies and gentlemen. Last time we were at Pocono, and that was uploaded all the way back in late March. Part of the double episode where we raced at Dover first and then Pocono. This will be a single race episode today. We're going to be at Michigan International Speedway for running the Sirius 400. Last week at Pocono, I claimed the win and stopped Bobby Labonte from going three in a row. Johnny Benson was the Richmond winner, and before Johnny Benson shut off our streak, we had a pathetic streak of two races gone. Jeff Gordon won Talladega, I won Texas, Jimmy Johnson won Bristol, Kevin Harvick won Darlington, I won Atlanta. This is the same video that almost got demonetized to use the phrase Jeff Gordon sucks platypus eggs so far. Thanks, YouTube. I won Las Vegas, North Carolina, and Dale Jarrett won Daytona. Let's jump right in. So far, Ryan Newman is the quickest man around here at Michigan. We're going to change that. Here at Michigan International Speedway, it's basically like the big brother to California. Similar to California, you're going to be barreling off into turn one close to 200 miles an hour. Then you're going to slow down to about 170 in the turns. Then on the backstretch, you're going to be about 200 flat before we slow down to about 166. That is if you want to keep your line around the bottom. And our time brings us a pole. Hey, that's pretty good. Nope. Really, Norton had to interrupt that. Thanks, Norton. So we cruise off through turns 1 and 2. What am I doing? I pretty much have this thing in the bag. Let's just end it. Barney Hall, Joe Moore, let's go.
MRN is coming to you live from Michigan International Speedway for today's Sirius 400. Michigan is known for some great racing and some fantastic finishes. Barney, what are your thoughts on this track?
Well, look for speeds approaching 200 miles an hour and cars running 3 and 4 wide. That's a recipe for some exciting stuff.
Kevin Harvick is our NASCAR Winston Cup points leader coming into this race.
Well, the NASCAR Winston Cup trophy is what it's all about. But you can't get it if you don't consistently gain points. These guys know that, and they're working hard to try and increase their lead this week.
Kevin Grubb just couldn't get up to speed in qualifying this week.
Yeah, he's definitely not used to having to pick through traffic so early in the race. This could make it an exciting race for him, or it could be disastrous. You just never know when you start in the back.
Jeremy Mayfield is towards the bottom of the points list this season.
And how frustrating that must be. You're working just as hard as everyone else, yet you just can't seem to finish well on race days to gain the valuable points you need. These guys need a good finish just to regain their confidence as a team.
Let's see if there's any alternates in this race. Christian Fittipaldi has the Pillsbury Doughboy race car. So far, that looks like it could be that only deal in this game, but I think I saw Ken Schrader with his Carrot Top race car. See the drivers roll off the pit road to this 2-mile speedway.
And here's the starting lineup for the race. Kevin Harvick, the NASCAR Winston Cup points leader.
right next to Ryan Newman.
Driving in row 2 will be the Rubbermaid Sharpie Ford and the Pfizer Ford.
It's probably not going to matter because I'm only going to see the guys, the alternates, once when I come down pit road. Sterling Marlin seems to always bring his 2001 Coors Light car to this race, or Ganassi, since we can't have a beer sponsor in an E-rated game. Even though this is 2003 and people had massive balls back then compared to the liberal SJWs that populate today's high schools and colleges.
In row 7 are the Sterling Marlin Dodge and the U.S. Army Pontiac.
Anyways, Michigan International Speedway, race 14 to 30, 15 to 36. 20 laps. Me and Ryan Newman are going to bring the field down, and we're green in the Motor City. Down into turn 3 for the first time this afternoon. Rocket Man Ryan Newman has pulled out to an early gap over the 6 of Mark Martin. I slide in to take second. Looks like Newman's going to move to the outside lane. I'm going to try to see if I can get a run going on the bottom, but I cut right to the top. And this is the downside of playing a PS2 game with a 6-axis controller. The steering is so sensitive. That's why I'm kind of apprehensive. Shit. Oh, God. Sorry, Kurt. See, steering with 6 axis is very sensitive, by the way. Because I don't think when Sony built the 6 axis, they were trying to keep, think that people who owned a PS3 are going to use their PS2 collection. Because around the time the PS3 came out, the PS3, or the PS2, aka its father, was pumping more steroids than Lance Armstrong. 3 laps in today in the Sirius 400 here at Michigan. I've slid to 4th after partially screwing up, coming off turn 2 and getting into Kurt Busch, which basically means he's probably going to kick my ass after today. Coming off of turn number 4, looks like Michael Waltrip is in 3rd. Mark Martin is in 2nd, and Ryan Newman is currently leading, about 1.3 seconds up on us. Remind you that we did piss off Michael Waltrip at Dover, so he'll be fun to get by. Not. He hasn't calmed down jack shit. You know, it's funny, all the way back in season 1, me and Michael Waltrip were actually tight buddies in, the original season 2 before my memory card went stupid. Shit. Oh dear Lord. See if we can. I bring you love, Michael Waltrip. Now let's go. Jesus Christ, my car is either A, really loose, or B, really fucking sensitive. My car's like an SJW, it's sensitive. Looks like we're going to push Michael Waltrip to the front, past the 12 of Ryan Newman, giving him as much room as possible. Here at Michigan, Michael is a 4-car breakaway with everybody else splitting off into separate groups. With this, we are partially saving saving fuel in the process. as we go on board the 29 Chevrolet of Kevin Harvick. Almost 200 miles an hour flying down into turns 1 and 2. That should give you an idea about how fast we're going here at Michigan. .200 miles an hour down to turn 3. Gonna come down to the bottom, trying not to get a pit penalty or cut through the grass. Or in my case, pulling Eric Jones. So far, there is a group of cars coming down pit road. They're probably most of the back half of the field, so we're going to pit next time by. So we're starting to pull away from the 12 of Ryan Newman and the 15 of Michael Waltrip. Off turn number 4, putting several cars a lap down. 1.1 seconds separates me from the 12 of Newman. We're gone. Gonna go ahead and pit next time by, right, which means these next two corners, we're gonna pit right about now. Quick half a can just to save a little bit of fuel. Come on, boys, good stop. Good stop. But we're going to be coming out in traffic. Good thing is we came down before the rest of the leaders did, so we would be good to the end, and provided there's no cautions to mix things up, unless there's probably going to be one BS caution the game causes. So the current top 5 does still remain as Michael Waltrip, Mark Martin, Jeff Gordon, Bill Elliott, and Sterling Marlin. We're currently cruising around in 30th, hoping one of those 5 pits, and I can cycle back to the front. We're picking up spots, doing our sandbagging douchebag pit strategy, flying by the 12 Ryan Newman, aka the outside pole sitter. And just like that, we passed half the cars we needed to pass to get up to the front. Hopefully this time around we're going to pass a few more. Oh dear God. We'll be coming down. We're going to be getting the lead. We're going to be passing a few more cars down here on pit road. Moving up to 11th behind the 23 of Kenny Wallace. As right now, with all the guys pitting, the current cycle stands as Michael Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, and Mark Martin have not pitted yet, while Joe Nemechek is cycled around in 4th. I'm assuming he isn't pitted as well. 194 miles an hour down to turn 3. We're going to be probably passing a few more cars down here on pit road. Hopefully Waltrip pits soon as we come around to the start-finish line. Got about 5 more spots. We're just about to crack the top 5 of the boys. Even though at this point I'm just making qualifying laps. Michael Waltrip, Sterling Marlin, Joe Nemechek, Dale Jarrett, and Kenny Wallace. They're the top 5. We fly down the back stretch. Almost hit the PlayStation button, which would have probably screwed me over and caused a caution. So far in this quick caution-free race, there are 8 laps to go, and just like that, we are. At this point, I'm probably just going to be making a lot of qualifying laps and periodically checking in on the current race order right now. But currently, we're probably going to have this one in the bag unless something catastrophic happens. 7 to go here at Michigan. Just like that, Ryan Newman is settled in the second. We are 3.5 seconds ahead of him, though. Wash up the racetrack slightly. Just about to crack the 200-mile-an-hour barrier. There's 6 laps left here today at Michigan. Flying down the front stretch. 5 to go. Gonna keep rim riding around the bottom. Oh, Jesus. 180, almost 193. Well, 193. Gonna be flying around turns 3 and 4 again. Coming to the line, there will be 4 laps of racing to go. 39-32. Looks like we got a car blowing up. That's the 26th Kevin Grubb. He is on the apron and out of the racing line. We do stay green. And you gotta admit, for not coming back to this, for basically putting this game on the back burner for the first time since March, I'm really not doing too bad. I'm putting together good lines, quick laps. Other than the incident with Kurt Busch, which was completely my fault, I'm actually putting together a pretty good race. 3 laps to go at Michigan. Ryan Newman is currently in. If he wants to catch me, he better hope for a caution and hope for it now. Or he better hope I run out of fuel or pull down pit road like a pansy. See the car slowing in turn 3. Probably is still the 26th of Kevin Grubb. So we fly down into turn 3. Clear him. As we come to the line, there will be 2 laps to go at Michigan. 4.1 seconds separates me from the 12th car. I am literally hauling around this joint. Lap traffic is just about to enter turn 3. Almost out of gas. We're moving around quite a bit, which means Newman is probably going to catch us if we keep trying these different lines in the corners and, if we keep being very amphibious on the racetrack. Last lap here at Michigan. Almost 5 seconds separates me from Ryan Newman. I mean, hauling around this joint. Almost out of gas. Can we make it all the way around, or do we make it on fumes? The 1 gallon of fuel I put in could very well pay off today at Michigan. As we come through turns 3 and 4, we are literally drops away from running out of gas as we come down under the apron, practically running on fumes, as Kevin Harvick wins the Sirius 400 at Michigan. And just like that, we run out. That's why I'm glad there wasn't an extra lap. And looks like we're going to just sit here on the apron. Now we're going to crawl down. Yoink. Yep, we're out.
Not a single caution lap was run in the whole race.
Well, that's good news for all these race teams because that can mean one thing: no major wrecks.
Kevin Harvick truly dominated this race.
Yeah, no doubt he deserves the victory. What an incredible race for all the guys on that team.
Kevin Harvick probably won't be hanging out after the race with Kurt Busch.
Should be interesting next time they get next to each other on the racetrack. At this point, nobody wants to back down, and we could see some sparks fly.
Okay. We're playing the fuel game right. We've actually done it a couple times this year. Very seldom has it bit us in the ass. Hey, Kevin Harvick won. Man, those 2003 graphics look like shit. When you crack open a cold one with the boys. -8 for Michael Waltrip, -50 for Kurt Busch, none for Matt Kenseth, and none for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Hey, we got the night track. Kevin Harvick won today at Richmond, followed by, oh my God, Richmond? I mean Michigan. Kevin Harvick, I win today at Michigan. Ryan Newman finishes second. Mark Martin finishes third. Michael Waltrip finishes fourth. Jeff Burton finishes fifth. Good run for him. Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishes sixth. Jeff Gordon finishes seventh. Tony Stewart finishes eighth. Bobby Labonte finishes ninth. Matt Kenseth is going to finish today in 10th. Kevin Grubb fell out of the race with the engine problem. Everybody else finishes on the lead lap. And I led half the race, and boy, it was worth it. Hey, it's pretty good. After this saves, we're going to look at the points. Without further ado, no Sonoma. Points. Right now, we are still the points leader by 409 over Dale Jr. Bobby Labonte is in third, 510 points back. Ryan Newman is in fourth, 556 back. Michael Waltrip is in fifth, almost 600 points back. Kurt Busch is in sixth, 629 back. Jeff Burton is in seventh, 639 back. Ricky Craven is in eighth, 683 back. Matt Kenseth is in ninth, 694 back. And Jeff Gordon is finally in the top 10, 698 points back. Looking at driver respect, Kurt Busch wants to kill me. Chase Montgomery also wants to kill me. Kowalczyk is neutral. Robbie Gordon is neutral. Steve Park is still willing to help us. Jimmy Johnson is still willing to help us. Tony Stewart is still willing to help us. Jeff Gordon is still willing to help us. Ryan Newman is still willing to help us. And we won $15K from this race, being the pole award, the front runner. Terry Labonte earned picking up places. Dale Jarrett earned the EA Sports Fast Pace. Casey Mears earned the Rookie of the Race. And Tony Stewart made the Move of the Race award. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for a doubleheader episode of Sonoma. That'll be at 6 a.m. in the morning. I know nobody will be awake for it. And be sure to tune in later today at 1 p.m. Eastern for Daytona Road Course, aka the Florida 500K. We will see you 6 a.m. tomorrow morning for Sonoma. Yep. What the hell?